Hello there, Bic Benedict here. We're playing God of War 2018 on Give Me God of War difficulty, and this is my guide and walkthrough. We're currently on part 7, so we've just taken care of the boss down here. And I should have actually put this in fast forward here, now that I look at it. There's going to be a lot of fast forwarding on this. I'm not going to be going to Fafnir's storeroom. I tried to do some exploration. I got lost. I got frustrated. I did some of the tears, the reality tears, where you can get some good supplies by fighting some very tough enemies that kill you in one shot. And the realm tears. Those are realm tears. That's what I'm talking about. It's very important to speak properly because people can be confused. I remember one time when I was in like second or third, fourth grade. I think it was like third grade. I was asked to. We had a spelling test, and I was either told or I volunteered to pronounce the words so that the other students would, so that they can hear them and then write them down so that they can have their spelling test. And I remember, this was so long ago, but the word was hour, and I pronounced it R, and people, you know, they thought it was A-R-E when it was completely my bad, and it was it should have been spelled O-U-R, but you know, the poor kids. They heard me pronounce it wrong, and they wrote down what they heard, and what they heard was an idiot saying the word wrong. And a couple of the kids got mad at me. The teacher didn't get mad at me, but these kids got mad at me. So I've always taken that as a lesson to speak properly and to be accurate as you can. And anyway, so our quest is taking us over here. You know, Fafnir, I can't locate his shop, so I'm not going to be doing it. I am going to show you guys an exploit coming up over here, and it was the exploit I referred to in the previous video, I think it was. And if it wasn't, it doesn't matter, because what I'm going to show you doesn't depend on the time that I mentioned it, but so this game has received 15 updates, and I think that what you're about to see coming up is an oversight. I can't imagine how if this is something that they know about, they didn't fix what's coming up over here. Do you remember when I was mentioning that you can get a repeated amount of XP over and over and over and over again? Well, this is just one example of me getting one of the labors. So there's a labor over here where you activate the talismans X number of times. So at this point in time, I have 59 out of 60 activations for the talisman. So the next time I activate it is going to be the time when I get my XP bonus and I complete that labor. So you would think that once you do the labor, it would just give you the XP and never give it to you again, because why would they do that? People can easily take advantage of it. So I'm going to show you over here me taking advantage of it. So when you come in, if you come in here, just take a look for yourself over here. I'm gonna show you the actual labor. I'm gonna zoom in because it's so hard to see the text on this game. Here we go. Use the talisman 60 times right there, and I'm 1 away from getting the labor completed. So this gives me 3,500. Talisman Tinkerer is what it is. So that's 3,500. There's my my amount of XP. Here's me reloading the game. I put it in fast forward so you don't have to wait. Here's me respawning. Here's me getting the bonus again. I'm getting more XP. And now I'm going to reset the game again, and I'm going to do it again. You can do this forever, and it never knows. It just never knows. Now, once you get into a new area and get another checkpoint, it will save that data, and you can't do it anymore. But as long as you don't clear a fight victoriously and get to a new checkpoint, or just get to a new checkpointed area, you can do this forever. And I don't even need the XP anymore. What I really need is hack silver. So all of this XP, like, I don't even need this anymore. But I'm doing this to punish the game and to punish the developers. You know, I'm the one benefiting from this, so I can't imagine how anyone would find that to be appropriate. They punish you for so many small, ridiculous things. They put all of these punitive, unnecessary restrictions on you at so many other times in the game, and here you can just get away with fucking murder, you know? There, if you need a bunch of XP, that's all you've got to do. I discovered it completely by accident. Now, I am in the next area over here, I think. I'm past the next checkpointed area, so it is going to overwrite that, and I can't do it anymore. But as long as you're on top of that, and you would want to take advantage of the one that gives you 3,500, and you could do that for any one of those trials, those labors of love. So if you're in a fight and you need one more parry, you can keep parrying and getting, you know, can you fucking believe that? It's unbelievable. So I have 52,000, and incredible. So you might say, well, you're taking advantage of the game. You're cheating. Not really. I'm just doing something that the game should not allow you to do. It's their bad. It's the kind of punishing the game, and I really don't care. I don't even need the experience. I'm just telling it for people. You know, if you need experience, just do that. You know, like I said, I need hack silver. I need some fucking coin. Now, the runic that I have now is a runic that does a burst of stun on enemies. I don't really care for it too much, but it boosts my strength and either reduces cooldown or adds runic help. If I'm going to equip something with runic and strength, I always try. When I'm equipping things, I try not to find any ones that lower any of the stats unless they're like vitality or defense. I don't really care about that. Or luck, you know. I don't care about the luck of the goddamn draw. But if it's going to lower cooldown too much or strengthen runic, especially the latter two, then I don't want to mess with it. But there we go. We've got an updated bestiary, and now we're going to be heading up the mountain to go back and dispel the black light coming up over here. And I've given my son a new suit so that he's dealing more. Yeah, keep driving past, you sons of fucking bitches, fucking ugly dogs. The kid's got a new set of clothes for himself, and so when he strangles people, he gets a melee damage boost, which is going to help out me, and in turn, it's going to help out the family. I also was wandering around the Isles on the Lake of the Nine, and I found another apple, so I did get a health increase. So if you're wondering why my health is a little bit more than it was last time, I did get myself in a health increase. All right, and Atreus has a new set of clothes for himself. And now we're going to scale the mountain and proceed with our campaign. Anyway, we're going to be heading up the cliff over here, getting into the next zone. We're going to be meeting up with some different enemies, and we also are going to be at some point facing some of the faster joggers coming up. They look like the Grave Wardens from Dark Souls 3. with the way they attack and with the way that the weapons are designed. But as we push forward into the darkness over here, we're going to illuminate this area, and then we do have a fight with a new enemy. Like I said, it's called the I'm just going to call them the Speed Draugr, because the bestiary lists them as a Draugr, and then parenthetically it notes speed. So now these enemies are going to spawn once we cross the threshold into the door to the left beyond it. And so what they do is that they will do there will be a flare of fire beneath them, which is their telegraph that they're going to be really quickly winding their horns over to you. And I honestly didn't have too much trouble learning this enemy. We are getting some blessings now. Epic fail, epic. I hate when I fail. Don't you just hate when you fail it? The Executioner's Cleave. I can't remember what statistic is giving me the blessing, the runic blessings. It could, I think it might be my my talisman. So yeah, this is what these guys are. I don't think they have any unblockable attacks unless they level up, and I don't. Yeah, they can definitely level up, but I don't think they're too troublesome, even if they level up. So the talisman that I have equipped now, I think this is the one that does the stun. Now, personally, I don't really find much use for the actual active ability of this weapon, but even now, thinking about the passive ability of this talisman, you get a little bit of health back for dealing the grabs. Grabs are something that you don't see many grabs in this game. Honestly, there aren't many grabs compared to the other games, and some of the little incentives that they give you for the perks are just so they're so not what I just don't care about having a little defense when my health is low. I don't care about getting a little bit of health back for certain things on a difficulty where you're getting damaged so much. So I'm very selective about picking my upgrades. Anyway, we also do now have a summon for Atreus. He could summon the wolf, so and it's actually quite powerful as well. So if you aren't aware of how to summon, all you need to do is just hold down the R2 button, and you'll summon the wolf. This part over here, if this is what I'm remembering, this is really bad. What you're going to have over here is you're going to have a revenant that spawns nightmares. So it's junk. It's just trash, and we'll see what actually happens with it. You can light those braziers up if you want to illuminate the area if you want. What do we have here? Is that a rare wrist armor? Sturdy armor favoring cooldown. I'm always looking for things that decrease the cooldown as well, but normally I find that the items that decrease cooldown, I have to make too many sacrifices in other areas that I don't want to. If it was just defense or luck, I wouldn't have a problem with that, but see these enemies over here? Very dangerous combination of a revenant with these nightmares over here. So once you get into this area, what I would do is I would throw the axe, and if you're not remembering how to do the combo about looping this boss, it's just as problematic as a boss. the revenants can be looped by just holding the square button. You go up to them and then you press and then hold square. He does a punch and then he does a trip, and they get tripped perpetually. See that? If you miss the first one, you can't block the second attack. But that's a difficult part. And then up here, we've got 2 to 3 of the speed joggers, and then a heavier jogger. Do you see what's happening right there? If you hit them in the head or another weak spot, I guess their weak spots would be their legs, because those parts of their bodies are glowing. On impact, when you see a flash, you want to press the right trigger, and then you'll see a little glint in a diamond shape above them, and that means that you're building up permafrost. Now, this jogger down here, if you let him level up, he will obtain the ability to do unblockable and unparryable moves, those red moves. And if it's not permafrost that you're getting back with the precision axe throws, you are getting increased frost for your next attack, whether it's going to be a melee attack or a projectile attack again. All right, now there's probably, yeah, this guy's up here. Don't they look like the Grave Wardens? I mean, even the way they look, but I think this guy doesn't have the dual blades. And I'm getting damaged here heftily here, but I was on this for like 20 minutes and it was really bothering me because just these guys are really fast. And I would, if I were you, I would really be on the lookout for any runic attack where you get protection and you get complete iframe immunity. That's why I love the charge of the white bear, because when you do it, the second you activate it until it's finished, you can go through enemies' attacks and you don't take damage. So anyway, you want to come on down here and open this coffin, and then we're going to be getting a horn of blood mead for ourselves. There's some upgrading materials there. Now on these objects over here, this one down here, I believe it needs to be a lowercase n, and then the one up here is a B. Now if you're having trouble, just zoom in to see. So I'll try to zoom in here. Is that a B? Yeah. I swear the text is just incredibly small. It's very small. It's not easy to read. This, and then this one is an R, and then break the boards in the distance. Make yourself a path, and then you want to come up here, and then here is the container that's going to give you your horn of blood mead. So we have 2 of 3 there. The next one will give us a rage upgrade. If you take a right over here, there's a path that you can go down, and at the end of this hallway there's a monolith, and you can get yourself some experience upgrade points. So when you're watching this walkthrough, there's also once you investigate that, there's a fight with a couple of Draugrs. I wanted to stress that when you're watching this walkthrough, never assume that I'm showing everything in every area. Not only is that inhumanly not possible, but it would take far too long in the videos. So I'm only showing the essentials of the path over here. Make sure when you're following this walkthrough that you don't take it at face value. Make sure that you explore much more than I'm showing in the video, and make sure that you just have a look around. It's going to be in your best interest. Like over here, you know, there's hacks over chests that I'm getting off camera, but you know, I'm just not putting them in the walkthrough. So, but also near about this time, you should be able to get another upgrade for Atreus, and also you know, always do the essentials of upgrading the summons for him too. you probably are going to have by this time another summon, which is the birds. The birds are good for stun damage, but not for actual hit damage. So I'm going to keep the wolf on because he's good for actual physical damage. And so we've got him up to level 3. And speaking of numbers over here, we've got one enemy that's a level 4 Draugr, and the one, I think the one that had the shield is the level 3 Draugr over here. This here's the shield guy. This enemy type is fun to fight. I don't know how do you feel about it, but I find it pretty fun to fight. But the ones that give themselves a fire buff and explode, they will charge at you and kind of just flop right in front of you and do a fire explosion. They cannot be touched. They cannot be gone near to, or be in their radius when they're doing that jumping attack at you, because like if it's red, obviously it can't be blocked, and you almost take a fatal amount of damage. But if you're at full health, you can survive it. So I don't find it a fun variant of that enemy to fight. But when you are fighting it, you want to be extremely careful of it, and basically treat it as something extremely deadly. And since it's incendiary, you just don't want to stay around it as much as possible. You want to be doing charging attacks with the axe. Charge the axe and throw it. Also, it's kind of interesting because I was thinking to myself, does this game have an equivalent of the square triangle attack in the other games? Because that was a trademark, it was a signature move, and it kind of does have one if you think about it. The square triangle attack, similar inputs, and it does a sort of like the finisher is a downward sort of move, like the square triangle move. So if you've purchased that, you might look at it a little bit more closely and see if you find the similarities that I do of it. I often do it. There aren't that many combos in this game. You know, it's kind of strange. But this fight over here, you fucking asshole. See what I'm telling you about these guys? Completely forgot what I was talking about too. But at the beginning of this fight, there is a chance that you can knock a couple of those guys into the pit, and if you can do that, so much the better for you, because then you'll have, you know, a minimum amount of enemies left. But there aren't many combos in this game, are there? So see, you can easily tell when they get that buff that they give themselves. Now they still have parryable attacks, but you just don't want to be close to them whatsoever. I mean, and I'm telling you, I can't warn you enough not to buy those running attacks when you're sprinting. Just don't even buy them. I know what they're called too. They're called where is it? Okay, where is it? Right down here. Yeah. If you want to know what they're called, it's called the Frost Rush and the Leviathan's Fury. Don't buy those moves. Now, if you don't care one way or the other, if you don't think they're going to affect you, you know, then you're not going to need to. But this, I really don't understand it, because there is a confirmation process when you buy the move. So it's not like you just press one button and buy it, and you could do it on accident. But I can't understand why these people that made the game wouldn't think that there wouldn't ever be a case where somebody might regret something in it. You know, like if I accidentally bought that move, what am I supposed to do? Start my fucking campaign over again? You know, because it completely interferes with running up to an enemy. You're always running up to things in this game, you know, and if you have to deal with that nonsense of the jumping attacks. You know, it's the Leviathan's Fury is the one that's the worst. Like, I could deal with the Frost Rush, but it still bothers me when I'm running up to an enemy. I want to start a combo. You've got to wait until he stops hitting with the Frost Rush. I mean, there should be some way to unbuy a move. It's just ridiculous. But over here is where Brock is, and you can buy an upgrade for Atreus. You should be able to if you've I don't know. Maybe you might not have the resources. Anyway, we're going to be coming up on a boss over here, and this boss is so. It's such an easy boss, but the strange thing about this boss is that he takes he's very weak to the boulders. So if you have the rage and you have access to the boulders, I know it's a costly upgrade, 10,000, but I think by now you should have easily accumulated enough. And you know that trick that I told you at the beginning of the video, just do that if you need to. He's very weak to that, and hopefully you have that. I'm gonna wreck this boss. I'm gonna do it no damage, but then after the fight, I'm gonna barely survive to the lackey. So, and now when I say wreck this boss, I don't think that I'm some sort of a hot shit because I can do this difficulty. Anybody can do this difficulty. I mean, it is harder than the normal game's difficulty, and that's a good thing. It really is good. But there's a lot of people that are good at games, so you know, there's no need to be smug about things. So I try not to be smug. I'm just trying to be humble, you know. Okay, oh, and I'm trying my very best to not just spam the axe, because spamming the axe can be a viable strategy on some sections of this game that you know, you'd be better served by doing it in a skillful way and get it done more quickly. But I wouldn't want to watch someone just throw an axe constantly, so I try not to do it. So but I am going to, on enemies that you don't want to get close to, I mean, what else can you do? So, and this boss coming up, we're going to take him out in a matter of seconds, but it's kind of funny to almost die to lackeys, and to consider that the boss is easier than the lackeys. I think he is. Like, the combination of all of the enemies, there's like 3 of them, it's harder than he is. And who is he? Well, it's a recycled version of the bosses that we've already faced. The ogre. It's another palette changed boss. And I don't understand, like, a lot of the reviews for this game saying that this is the oh, there's that move right there that I was talking about, SSSST, saying that you know, this is the God of War with the highest degree of scale, that it feels like you're so small. I don't believe that at all. This game is horrible about that. You know, even in God of War 3, there were things that towered way higher than you are. At the beginning of the game, Kronos, all of that stuff, you always felt small. This game is horrible about that. It's even worse because there's shitty boss fights, and I'm somebody who hates boss fights. You know, I'm calling for boss elimination practically. So, just think of the bosses in this game. It's like the ogre every time. Is an ogre? Yeah, it's the ogre every time. How many times do we have to face the fucking ogre? You know? I mean, it's not even an impressive boss fight. I mean, anyway, we're just doing some exploration over here. It looks like these guys weren't dealt with because I fell into that hole. But these guys over here are the Grave Warden type of enemy. The guys with the dual weapons, and if you get hit by them, it breaks your guard, and there doesn't seem like any way of getting out of it either. So, and another thing too, you don't grab enemies in this game. But level 5, Jesus, you really don't grab things in this game too much. And the primary grab that he does is that one where he stomps in their face. Like that's the one that you see over and over again in this game. Here we go. Alright, okay, there we go. Finished him off, cleaved him in half. I was also looking for any move that would increase the rage damage that you do, and I don't think they accommodate that in the you know the in anything that you can equip. So I don't yeah, but this boss is there's probably some more enemies over here too, and I think this is where I take some damage, but I was just running with this, so I didn't really want to reset over here. And I've got the talisman I've got this is the one that increases the stun damage, and I believe that the reason I have that equipped is because I'm either trying to increase strength or the runic, and I think it does one or the other of those. No, but this game, it really is good. At the same time, though, it's annoying with the kids saying, you know, watch out, father, don't leave me, father. And then when you get the head on your waist, perhaps you considered a tactical retreat, brother. Shut the fuck up. Fucking garbage shit. It's bad, guys. Okay, so this should look familiar. All right, let's head on here through the door, and then I don't think there are any other fights except the final boss. I mean, the boss. So I'm gonna go in really strong with this boss. Do Executioner's Cleaves, and I will show you the. Let's see the strength of the boulders. Up until now, I haven't seen the boulders do as much damage as I've seen on this guy. Excuse me, the Falcon's Dive. That's another summon there that I would stick to the wolf right now. I would have the wolf upgraded to level 3, and so like I say, I'm gonna sprint to the boss. The checkpoint's right over here. It's pretty good. As you deal this boss damage, he's gonna spawn lackeys, but I would just finish him off in one fell swoop, as it were, at the beginning, and then deal with the lackeys There are plenty, if you don't want to do that though, there are plenty of safe spots. You can go all the way around this. You could even go back to Brock's shop and hide out and let everything regen. But anyway, I'm going to charge up and do my Executioner's Cleave. I think you can do 2 very safely. Actually 3. The Stomp won't hit you, so that's 3 cleaves. Actually, I barely got off a 3rd one, but that was the failure of the game, not realizing that I was pressing triangle. It's the whole thing about the launch being broken. I've always talked about that in the other games. Here he goes, taunting, so we can use the Executioner's Cleave. We can send in the Wolf and then start throwing the boulders at him. Holy shit, I thought it dealt a little bit less damage, but that is a hell of a lot of damage. And then should have got a cleave right over there. I didn't know he was taunting, but sometimes when he's doing particular animations, he your runic attacks go right through him. So you definitely want to make sure that that doesn't happen. But you know, how do you prevent that? But look, he's already finished, and it's just one of those stupid ironies that this section here is harder, and this shouldn't even be how it works. The lackey should just disintegrate and just not even exist anymore after the boss. But that's him. I don't even know what his name was. 4 of them. There really are 4 of them, huh? When these guys are ignited, though, you definitely want to throw a charged axe into them, and that will cause them to burst and have damage dealt to them. That good old frost charge, but I don't know. It's just the damage that you receive from these exploders is just incredible. So you definitely want to be careful about, you know. And I took a hit. How did I take a hit there? It doesn't matter. It's just basically what you want to do is you want to wait for everything to regen a second time, and then get these guys all grouped up and use the runic attacks to kill them. And they should be nearing about getting regen by the time you take down the boss, if you use them at the beginning part of the boss. But you know, just I would keep my distance if I were you, because these guys they can kill you quite quickly. And I got all my rage back. Ooh, see that? What the hell was I activating the rage for right there? I could have just waited. But that's the story of part 7. I will see you in the 8th part. We're going to get clear of the mines. Look at that little sidestep that these guys do. Oh, the wolf's charged up again. Good deal. Got ourselves a meal deal, guys. If you ever can get your hands on one of those, I would definitely grab it. Grab it and go. Get your meal deal for yourselves, guys. It's the way to go these days. Get one of those fucking meal deals.